Alright, so welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. Today I'm going to go through some of the things that I just recently got from Tractor Supply by Harbor Freight. And something that I hadn't seen before that I thought would be a great addition. Of course, you don't really need it. I don't really need it. Gosh, it's going to be nice to have it, right? Alright, so let me check off one box to start off with, and that is for you guys that are just getting into it or trying to work on your own stuff. I found this kit. It's Pittsburgh from Harbor Freight, and it covers 1/2 inch, 3/8 and 1/4 inch. It's got metric and SAE already in there. Now you may have to pick up a couple different spark plug adapters because this one here is for the small one. But this kit here, I want to say was right around 50 bucks, 60 bucks. But you take this and a good set of screwdrivers and one Torx bit of 27, and that will do most of what you want to do when you're at home. Like I told you, if you gave me money to go, if I were to start all over again, what tools would I really want in the beginning? It would be this set, and then I have this that are all just ends with the, you have the Phillips, you have the regular, you have the Torx, you have the, and then this one here, they're just interchangeable bits that can go on to like the impact driver that I have, or it can go on a regular drill, or it can go on to the hand tool that you can use. Something like this, you know, where the tips come out and you can change them. This kit would be perfect with something like this. Alright, so let me get these out of the way. But these are a good way to start, you know, and get a set of screwdrivers, or you can get this set of bits with a screwdriver in it with interchangeables. It'll do it all. Okay? One thing I got was air connections. You know, we had talked about putting in, with your advice, channel schedule 40 PCV pipe to pipe out through to have air and air drop. So I bought some of these so I could set up the units out here, so I have air out here where I can run either, you know, just simply the air gun, or I can use the air impact, the cutoff wheel, the grinder. Okay, a couple things that I picked up yesterday. What I wanted was I wanted a complete set of 1/2 inch drive, SAE, and metric. And I wanted them to go up to at least 1 1/4 for size. So let me get these out. Just take a minute. Maybe I'll just tie this point. Alright, so what I wanted was, I wanted a set of metrics, 1/2 inch, and a set of SAE, all in 1/2 inch drive. And I want it to go up to at least 1 1/4 inches, which are probably the most common. And also in the metric to go all the way up to 28. Now, how often are you going to use those? Probably not a lot, alright? Most of the time, the biggest you'll see is maybe 7/8 on a lawnmower blade. You know, 15/16. But these here, I can tell you, were $25 a piece. Get this off. So for 50 bucks, you basically, this is the SAE set. Comes with a shorter breaker bar, 1/2 inch drive, extension, and it starts off with 7/16 and goes all the way up to 1.25 inch for sockets. Same deal with this, except for it's metric. And it starts off with an 11 and it ends up with a 28. Again, now you've got extras for these if you're going to put them into your toolbox. Like one of the things that we talked about this morning, Claude and I, is you can either keep them in the case or we can cut the case off and just set the bottom in a drawer. Same thing with that, so that you can take in and take out. But for 25 bucks, you can buy either set. And these would go well with that kit, you know, for 60 bucks. So now you got $110 and pretty much all the sockets that you need, okay? The other thing I spotted was a 17-piece professional 1/2 inch socket set. Because you can use the longer drawbars. Now, did I already have these tools? Yes, but they're up in my garage for the farm side, but I didn't have them down here. So, I'm trying to get what I need down here. So I'm not carrying tools back and forth, I can just get them at one location. So this here is a 1/2 inch drive. Comes with a much longer breaker bar. Comes with your ratchet. It's got the push button that I like. And then their sockets go from a 7/16 to 1.25 inch. Pretty much everything that this kit has got in, except for I get a longer breaker bar. So now I've got tons of 1/2 inch sockets, right? And these are grips. It's a good name that I like to buy. Alright, so the other thing is impacts. Deep welds. When and where do you use them? Alright. We use the impacts when we're using the air. The drills and stuff, and we also use them on our impact wrenches. You know, one is 12 volt, one is 20, but they're both impacts, and we use these on them. These here are 1/2 inch drive, so you would either have to have a 1/2 inch drive impact, or what you would need is if you have air in your shop and you've got air impact, you know, this is where you'd want to use these. And this here is a metric set, and it covers from size 10, which is most common, right up to 30. Actually, this one comes to 32. And then this one here is 1/2 inch, but it's SAE, starts at 7/16 and goes all the way up to 1.25 inch. If you're going to use an air impact, or if you're going to use a 1/2 inch drive battery operated impact, I would suggest to use these. They'll take a lot more abuse. We've seen the other style, just the standard crack and bust apart. But these girls hold up. If you're first starting out, do you need these? No, absolutely not. So that's set. Then I also picked up, which are handy to have. This one here is a non-contact AC voltage tester. And this here will test if you've got power on certain lines. And it comes in pretty handy. Claude's got one that's a Fluke, and we use that all the time when we're doing wiring. And if you're doing wiring in your shop, this is handy to have, so you can just check to see whether it's got power on it or not. Alright, so it's all put together. It's going to take a few minutes to do it, but the reason I bought it is it will hold all my 20 volt units that I use every day, and it also holds my 12 volt impact, 3/8 impact. And this is a good way for storage. Now what I'm going to use it for is I'm going to put it right up against the wall with all my chargers. These are made to go right into a bottom drawer like a deep well on your tool cabinet, but my cabinets aren't deep enough to handle something this deep, this size. So I'm going to give you a close-up of the tools I'm talking about that are good at. I mean, these are all different Torx to Phillips to Allen to whatever you can think of is in that kit, okay? What I picked up, spin it around. This is the 1/2-inch drive set, which is pretty good sized. These are the deep wells, 1/2-inch drive, SAE. And then you have the metrics which are the same size for a 1/2-inch drive for your impacts. This set is a standard SAE 1/2-inch drive. You notice the different size of the breaker bars in the kit. And this covers from 7/16 up to 1.25 inches. This here is the same set, except for now we're metric. These will be the same. It's just these start at a 11 and go all the way up through to a 28 metric. This is the set that I would recommend for any of you guys starting out. I mean, it's got 1/2-inch, 3/8, and 1/4. It's got all your little sockets, metric and SAE. It's got your 3/8 metric and SAE. And then it's got your 1/2-inch metric and SAE. Your deep wells are going to be all standard up here. You don't have any deep wells in the metrics. But this can get you by, other than you might need to get the other 2 spark plug adapters. So it depends on what you're working on, because they come in different size spark plugs. A good screwdriver set, you know, and a Torx handle bit 27, I think would do you fine. Now this handy dandy kit that I got all put together, this is the reason I bought it, is it's going to house all my DeWalt's, my 20 volts, and then down here is my 12 volt, which hasn't got the power that my 20 does, but it's going to be handy on working on certain things. And then I also brought down my chargers. This is for the 12, and these here are for 20. And there's another battery in here as a spare, but I mean, I can interchange them. These aren't a gotta have if you're just starting out. You will want these as you go, but you know, I don't recommend buying them as a big kit where you get the sawzall and all other crap with it. You know, I think this one here was $79, $69. My 1/2-inch or my 3/8 20 volt was $170. You know, I bought these all separate. This is standard drill. This is the hammer drill. And they all fit perfectly in the stores. Now these were made to go into the bottom of your toolbox, but my toolbox is not deep enough. The only thing I could do is to have Claude cut it down in height and across the back, but I don't know if I'd lose. So what I thought about doing is just taking in, putting a couple holes on each side and putting in drills to lock it in place, and then have this right here where I can just grab my tools. So on that note, you guys enjoy.